Hi, Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World. Welcome to the Sunday Summits. If you're new to our summit, welcome. If you've been with us before, then welcome home. Today is a special day of reclaiming our childlike wonder and joy. Our guests are Deb Goldberg and birthday girl tomorrow, Karen Palmer. We have a special intention for the day, and we'd like to ask Terry Angel to come on and share that with us. Hello, Terry.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great holiday week. The intention I'm going to read right now was downloaded from the angels and Archangel Michael and Divine Mother. So please place your hand on your heart and take a deep breath in. And let's just get into the energy of these words. It is our intention today to connect with the energy of the angelic realm as they lead us to the divine playground where only love resides. Archangel Michael, Archangel Cassiel, and Divine Mother will bring us to that place of joyful play and the innocence of the divine child in each of us. As our hearts are lifted with the angelic melody, we will tune into our soul's rhythm and connect fully with the orchestra playing in Earth's center and with the entire universe. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Terry. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
In preparation for today's show, I became very aware of the lack of joy in my life. I come by it honestly. My parents and relatives were all very serious. We didn't hear much laughter growing up. As the youngest of 4 kids, when we did get laughing and silly, we were told to keep it down. So I did. In meditation this morning, I was asking about my lack of joy. I was reminded of a Bible verse that I read in high school and decided to make it my life's mantra. From Philippians 4:11, it reads, I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Now, a lifetime of contentment is not a bad thing to strive for, but why didn't it dawn on me to aim for joy? Deb is going to lead us in a meditative experience later on to reclaim our childlike joy and wonder. But to be honest, I was a little hesitant. I saw so many blocks for me and figured that I would not really be able to feel it, as I would be coming to the meditation from a place of lack. Archangel Cassiel asked me to use the emerald green healing gems that we explored in our last Sunday summit. The purpose of the gems is to clear energy from within our body and through the chakra system. Archangel Cassiel handed me 3 gems, one at a time. The first was pink and orange to clear stuck emotions and grief. I placed it on my tongue and immediately felt the release of sadness and saw many images of life that had kept me in a state of seriousness. The second gem was yellow. Welcoming its healing energy released the ancestral aspects of seriousness and solemnness. The third healing gem was blue and green. I put it on my tongue and saw myself flying through the air with my friend Deb Goldberg. We laughed and shrieked at the fast speed and loop-de-loops we did in the sky. Archangel Cassiel asked me to share the gem healing with you so that you could also release and receive healing from anything that was energetically keeping you from being able to experience joy. If you're interested in experiencing this, I ask you to take a quick minute to get comfortable and close your eyes. The archangels want everyone to be able to use this modality. It isn't a secret, and you don't need to have extensive training in how to use it. It cannot do any harm, so if you are ready, let's get started. If you want to join in, please close your eyes. Let's feel the loving presence of Archangels Cassiel, Raphael, Michael, and Divine Mother here with us in the room. Let's take a minute and feel that energy. So I can see the healing pool that Divine Mother has provided for us for our summits. And there are these huge emerald green gems all over. It looks almost like the gumdrops, the green gumdrops that we've enjoyed as children. The symbol shared with us for the transmission of the healing energy is emerald green gemstones, about the size of a quarter. In your mind's eye, imagine a plate holding a heaping pile of these shiny, rich emerald green stones. Each of these gems has been prepared for you to assist in your release of energy that keeps you from feeling joy. Run your hand over the gems to see what you can intuit from them. Can you see them in your mind's eye? Can you feel that each gem is holding energy? Do some of them give you a different temperature or color by the healing energy that is infused inside the gem? Look at your pile of gems. Is there one gem on the pile that's calling your attention? Pick it up and hold it in one hand. See if you can sense what color is on the inside. Each one has its own intention and healing properties. Feel the gem in your hand. What other color besides the green outside are you sensing? The way to invite the healing energy of the gem is by opening your mouth and imagining that you put the gem on your tongue. This act symbolizes that you are welcoming this energy to enter your personal space and work throughout your body to shift and clear energy. If you're open to receiving this healing energy, take the gem that is in your hand. Open your mouth and see yourself putting the gem on your tongue. Now pay attention to what you're experiencing. Each gem reacts differently and can take seconds to an hour to stop moving. If you go on with other activities, the healing will continue, but you will be aware of the most benefit if you stay cognizant of the movements and location of the healing. You might feel energized. You might feel grief or other emotions being triggered and released. You might see Christ or your version of how you experience God. You might not notice anything, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that nothing is happening. So settle in and see, feel, and notice what work your gem is doing on your behalf. We're going to take a minute and just feel into this. We've been asked to end each gem healing session with the blessing provided to us by Archangel Michael. May it be with the blessings of God, the universe, Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, that you, beloved of God, is anointed with love, light, and blessings to step further into your role of sacred being. This blessing is bestowed upon you, such that you and all souls will be transformed through love and light. May every action taken and every word be said for the highest good of your growth, divine purpose, and for all involved. May you always seek guidance and counsel when you are unsure of your way. In love and light. Amen. Now, if you want, thank the archangels and Divine Mother for sharing this healing and blessing with you. Now bring your attention to your feet. Feel your body supported by your chair. Wiggle your fingers, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Remember that you can come back to your pile of emerald green healing gems anytime you wish. If you're so inspired, you can do one gem after another, but it is recommended not to do two at the same time, as the effects will be limited. Always start by inviting in your divinity and follow your inner guidance on the use and frequency of the healing gems. Use of the healing gems does not replace receiving medical care. So thank you for exploring this with us. If you experienced anything you'd like to share with us, please put your comments in the chat group. So Deb and Karen, was there anything that you all experienced from the gems today?
Yeah, I really experienced a lot in that. First, the gem itself turned into a white and pink rose flower, and the blossoms on the flower were coming open in my heart, and I could feel this blossoming in my heart. And when you said to take it and put it into our mouth, when I put it on my tongue, I felt this explosion of joy and playfulness and wonder. And it was just like a big smile came over my face, because it was like, it felt like, you know how you get those pop rocks when you were a little kid? You have pop rocks and you put the pop rocks in your mouth and it goes plip, 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 pops everywhere. That's how it felt.
Cute. Awesome. That's so fun. So Terry, that's what you were talking about last week. You had the pop rocks sensation in your mouth.
Yes, I did. Yeah, a few times now. In fact, I did it early this morning. I had some pain in my back, and I did that, and it was popping red and white, and the pain disappeared. But now, just now when I did it, I saw blue, and it was like blue rays. You know how you see the rays that come when there's a cloud and the sun's there, and the rays shine through the cloud? That's what it looked like, and it was beautiful.
That's so cool. There's something new every time we do this. Deb,
Yeah, it
what did
is.
you experience?
Yeah, it was a blue gem that I picked, and when I put it on my tongue, I could feel spiritual energy racing all through my body. I'm still vibrating from it. And I don't know, there's a thing with blue today. Like I decided to wear a blue shirt, you know, I have a lot of blue on. And so the gem was blue. And I think a lot of it for me stands for Michael's light. It's just blue to me. And then I felt this heaviness right here in my chest, and trying to lift that. And I think there was some fear because I'm going to sing later. And so I could feel that moving, that energy there. But yeah, it was beautiful. I feel really good. I feel more grounded and centered after I did that. And my spiritual energy, like being in the right heart space.
Nice. So as I was doing that, I was looking at the plate I was holding in my hand, and every single one of them was either pink or orange. So that would tell me that if I were to take a gem, it would be providing healing on emotions, stuck emotions, and grief. So that's apparently what I need to work on right now. So, yeah. I love those healing gems. I think they're so cool. Karen, I'm wondering if maybe, and we can talk about it, but that might be something cool for you to do with the kids, because you do work with kids all the time. And that might be a really easy way to teach kids that they can, I don't know what you would call that, but just even to
empower their emotions. They can empower their emotions. Yeah, I love that idea. Absolutely. Plus, I can show actual real gems. You know, I could bring in my crystals, and then they'll have like a visual.
Yeah, very cool. So, ladies, we are here today to talk about reclaiming our birthright, really, of joy.
Yeah.
How have you all done that? Have you always just been happy and go lucky, or are you? Karen, I get the feeling you kind of are, because you are always so full of joy.
Well, the truth is, I did come into the world as a bubble of joy, and I was able to keep my multisensory gifts for much of my childhood until I got into my later teens, and that's when I started getting ridiculed for the gifts that I had. And so I had to kind of tone it down. Like, I had to tone down my happiness, tone down my joy, tone down my angelic gifts. And to the point that I ended up in an abusive relationship, to the point that I ended up becoming homeless. I got into an addiction. And so I lost my connection with myself and with the angels. And so I did lose my joy. But I realized during that time, it was actually when I was homeless and when I had this kind of epiphany of the experience of my childhood, was through the love of my puppy, through the love of this puppy that I was living with in my car, that I could see unconditional love in her, but why couldn't I see it in myself, you know? And so I was reading 3 books at the time. I was reading Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and Wayne Dyer, You'll See It When You Believe It. And so I used all of those principles and all the things that I was learning in those books to actually implement the abundance principles at a time when I was at my lowest point of scarcity and lack. But I really feel like when I look back on all of that, the most empowering thing that I feel, and the reason that I go into the schools with the children, is that when we have our connection with the angels, when we have our connection with our true self, with our true magnificent self, our pure awareness self that we are, when we have that connection, there isn't any outside circumstance that can touch you, because you have what you are thinking is missing. And many of us, I feel, have spent our lives searching for that outside of ourselves. And when we, even in our own marriages, even in our own relationships, in our friendships, in our relationship with our sister or our brother, or, our blood sister or brother, or in our mother or our father, trying to find this approval and this love that they can't give us. They just can't give that to us. They don't have it in their capability to fill our cup. And so when we can fill our own cup, and that is what I think is the most important part of joy, is that it's not like a never-ending experience. It's always available inside. So we have to stop looking for it outside, because outside is limited resources. That's outside, limited resources. Inside, as Terry has told me and helped me in this deep, dark place that I've been in, the angels are always there. And all we have to do is invite them in, because we have this third dimensional experience. And at times I'm like up in the fifth, sixth, seventh dimensions, and people can't even hear me. They can't even hear me. They're like, where is she? She's like rainbow bright. She's like unicorns. And she's, you know, I can't even be in the same room with her. Like I can't hear her. And so I have to bring myself back into this third dimension. And the angels have taught me how to bring love and joy, and pure love and pure joy, through my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And so, yeah, that's how I feel. No, I haven't always been this joyful. So I've learned it's a learned moment by moment experience. And many people who are on the call right now, and who I see names coming in, and welcome everybody. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Summer. Thank you, Linda Lemieux. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Many of you know that I have been a self-love coach. I have been teaching self-love, self-kindness, self-care for many years, but I'm outing myself right now. I was not practicing it. And I had to have a crash into the third dimension to experience the truth that I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. And when I was giving from an empty cup to my own family, to my own friends, I was in that illusion of lack and scarcity and separation. And I'm not anymore. I'm not at all anymore. And I know now that that's a moment to moment choice. We get to choose in every moment whether we're going to complain or be grateful. And I choose grateful every time.
Good. Thank you so much, Karen. Deb, what about you? Has this joyful state always been with you?
I think like Karen, I came in the same way. I think most of us come in the same way as a baby. And I had a lot of joy and enthusiasm as a young child, and that got squashed at home because everything had to be, you just needed to behave and be quiet. And so it really squashed my enthusiasm. And as I grew into teenagehood and, you know, experienced life that was not kind at times, I grew more and more sad and kind of lost, not really knowing where I was going, who I was, or anything about my life. And probably through to my 30s, when I had a profound dream one night, I kept praying to God to help me, give me a path, show me what I'm supposed to do. And I had this profound dream that was just laid out for me to go to college. I had never gone to college before, and to become a therapist. And I felt like all of a sudden I had purpose, and that joy started to come back, and I didn't let anything get in my way. And it was not easy to get 2 degrees. You know, I had 2 little kids. And I spent most of my life being numb, shut down and numb because of all my younger experiences. Although I was also feeling joy about what I was getting into and the work that I was doing. I loved the work that I was doing, but there was so much numbness underneath and anxiety that I kept quiet. And until Jesus woke me up in, that was 5 years ago, I didn't understand that I was not being joyful. I didn't understand that I had so much stuff inside of me that needed to be cleared out and dealt with and processed. And so when it was spending time with Jesus and God and the angels is what kept helping me feel and know the joy that is inside of me. And it's a process to go through because, you know, it's really easy to act joyful and not really feel it. It's putting a mask on or a face on. And then I grew up with my dad was a little manic. So everything that I saw that was joy was so over the top. And so my idea of joy was this, bouncing off the walls. And Jesus told me, no, this is not what joy is. Joy is a peace and a stillness in your heart. It is not bouncing off the walls. It is not like yippee-ki-yay. It is just this beautiful peace and stillness in your heart. And I was like, oh, okay. So that completely reframed what joy is to me. Because I was walking around sometimes and going, well, how come I don't have this real happy face on, even though I'm feeling content and joyful inside? And I was questioning myself, how come I'm not looking like, all the time? And so I just learned that it's okay to just be me, and it's okay to have this joy and stillness in my heart. It doesn't mean that I don't experience times of feeling uncomfortable and having to deal with life experiences and thoughts that come back and bring back memories or patterns from growing up. However, you can experience joy and experience those other things at the same time. You can experience joy and walk through the darkness, if that's what you want to call it, walk into scary doors, into your mind, into your heart, into your emotions, to find out what needs attended to. So it is an ongoing process. And for me, it's trying to remember that I am joy. That is my divine nature. That is all of our divine nature. And connecting with that. And the best way to connect with that is through your inner child, because your inner child is just pure joy all the time. And it doesn't mean that that child doesn't feel other things, but it is a great way to connect with your joy.
Thank you. So, Karen, we have talked about your inner child. How did you create your relationship with your inner child?
Well, this has been an interesting journey for me because the angels, Archangel Jophiel was the angel that really helped me find my voice and helped me with being comfortable with self-expression through music. And it was the experience of designing musical coloring books that really brought back the inner child that was very, very hurt. She was very hurt, and she was very neglected, and she was very fearful of everything in the world. And these big, big things that were happening for me as a grown-up were scaring the heck out of her. And she was having like a temper tantrum kind of. And so I had to really, really look at my relationship as I grew up, my parents divorced when I was 10 years old. From 0 to 10 years old, so 0 to 7 years old, we don't have a filter. We actually are just downloaded information, and we don't have a filter. It's basically how our caregivers treat us is how we think the world is. And so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. My parents were extremely abusive to each other. They did not like each other. They never even wanted to be married. And they made it very clear that that was the way that that was the life that they were stuck in. And I heard that from when I was 0 until they divorced at 10 years old. I used to sit in my room. I remember just closing my ears and just crying and just saying, please just be nice to each other. Please just stop, and they were really good to me and my sister. But the way that you treat your spouse in front of your children is detrimental to your child. And so when my child, when I started working with Archangel Jophiel, and she was telling me, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to help you to relate, get this relationship with your inner child. The first time that I did my work with Archangel Jophiel, my little girl was hiding under a rock, and she was throwing rocks at me from behind that rock. And she was saying, no, you weren't there for me. You didn't stop that from happening. You weren't there for me. So it was a really rough time for me, going through that experience and really looking at what was, happening in my outside world, in my outside life, that was mirroring this inner child having this temper tantrum. And it was like the things were happening so fast. And I was sabotaging every one of my successes, because I was like, no. My inner child was like, no, we're not ready. We don't feel safe. We can't go do that. And it was when I started working with Archangel Jophiel and Archangel Michael, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Archangel Michael, be with me wherever I go. I am love protected here. I am love protected here. And that was the song that I would sing to myself every morning, just to get myself comfortable enough to go out into the world, And this is what I mean. Like, it's so important that we all have this beautiful opportunity to heal the parts of ourselves that we have deemed wrong because of the way that we grew up. And every one of us on the planet right now, every one of us on the planet right now has an inner child, a magical child, and a wonder child that is just waiting for you to acknowledge them. And when you acknowledge your inner child, yeah, you're going to come up with guilt. You're going to come up with all kinds of tears. You're going to come up with, anger, resentment. You're going to see a lot of stuff come up. But once you go through that experience, you're going to be able to really, really step into the huge vision that you have in your heart that's been placed there. This relationship that we have with our angels is a huge opportunity for us in our human experience to be able to meld into the divine being that we are, just having this human experience. And I think the inner child is like a doorway that opens us to that next level of connecting with our divine self, so that we can really be in presence with that divine self and embrace and love that little child, even though she is scared and even though she is having a little temper tantrum. When I find now that when I'm having a relationship and having a conversation with my inner child, she doesn't throw a temper tantrum. It's just a little tap on the shoulder. And it's not critical anymore. It's curious. I'm curious, Karen, why are we doing this way again? I'm curious, didn't we learn this before? And that's where I really think that it's such a gift, when we do this work. And I love Deb's beautiful meditation that she's going to share with us later in the show. And I think that everyone who's watching this, you can really benefit by developing that relationship with your inner child. And not only with your own inner child, but if you have a conflict with somebody in your life, if you have a conflict with anybody in your life, anybody in your family, anybody in your your community, anything that you have an issue about, I've got this issue about this person. Well, that has to do with your inner child and their inner child. So have a conversation with, you don't even have to have a conversation with the person physically. You don't even have to write a letter to them or anything, but you can do this work with your inner child and with their inner child, and you will see energetic shifts that you can't even begin to imagine.
Right. Hey, so Karen, you have a song that you sing. Would you share that with us?
I do. I have a song that the angels gave to me, and it was because I was like, angels, I need your help. Like, I'm in this world and it is challenging, and I need something to help you be in my mind and be in my heart. And that's this song that they gave me every morning when I call in Archangel Michael. I don't leave my bedroom without calling in Archangel Michael. And I feel Archangel Michael deflecting away any energies that are not for the highest good and amplifying the energies that are for the highest good. And so that's how I start. This is the song. I'll start with that. Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below. Archangel Michael, be with me wherever I go. I am love, protected here. I am love, protected here. Cancel clear, let go of fear. I am love, protected here. Be in my mind, dear angels, as I wake, and shine on me throughout the day today. Let every moment be a time in which I dwell with you. And let me not forget my hourly thanksgiving that you have remained with me and always will be there to hear my call and answer me with love. And as the night unfolds, we thank you now and forever. We are one love. Be in my heart, dear angels, as I wake, and shine our love for all the world to see. Let every person know the love that shines within them too. And let us not forget what you have given, and always remain in love. For that is who we are. We know this now. Thank you for helping us. So I start my morning and I teach that to the children. And I teach that to the children in school. They are, we are not able to talk about angels and religious things. So we sing Kind Earth. So we sing, be in our mind, kind earth as we wake. And then, to be grateful for our earth, to be grateful for our world. And that's, when our hourly Thanksgiving is, bring your hands to your heart and think about all the blessings in your life. When we focus on, what's working and we focus on what feels good, it expands and it grows. And so that song was a gift to humanity. That was a gift from the angels. And they said, and then now that is on, the Alexa with how to connect with angels and my angel prayer. That is the angel song that people can download and they can listen to it. And like I said, every morning from that day that they gave me that song, from that moment that they gave me that song, I feel like, it's a real entrance. It's a doorway into the higher dimensions. Because when we use these sound healings and these sound frequencies that the angels are giving us, we just have to trust that. And, I think one of the things that our world needs desperately right now is more acceptance of others' voices. So you don't have to have the perfect pitch. You don't have to be American Idol. You don't have to be on The Voice to sing. What kind of a forest would we have if only the birds that thought they sang the best sang in the forest? We wouldn't have these beautiful melodies. And so that was what the angels taught me. And that's what I do now with the children. I help them to find their voice, their authentic voice, and share it so that they feel safe to express themselves. And that's what I think our world needs more than anything, is every person to feel safe to express themselves, to express what is going on in their heart, to not feel like they're going to be ridiculed or put down for the way that they feel. And that every person on the planet is able to share those feelings and needs and not feel that they are, not taking responsibility for their own happiness and their own joy. We are the only one responsible for our happiness and our joy. We are not responsible for anybody else's on this planet. And that's the problem. We've been taught as children to please everybody outside of ourselves. And that ends up, that's where the inner child gets very confused, because the inner child is searching for approval and wanting recognition and needing this. And when you need, and you're insecure, you actually push people away.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Thank you for sharing all that. So Deb, I know that you have received this meditation as a download. I cannot wait for you to share that with us.
Oh, thank you. I'd be happy to. This meditation came last year. And as it does, it just kind of flows through. And it's called Fly With Me, and it's from the angels. So if you are driving, please stay present. And when you have time, you can listen to the replay of this meditation. And if you are able, please relax by getting into a comfortable position, reclining if possible, and start to take deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Modifying the pace of your breath as needed. As you continue to focus on your breathing, it will continue to clear your mind with the rhythm of your breath. Allow thoughts to float by and leave. Take another deep breath in and breathe it out. Allow your body to relax as you gently breathe air in and out. Do you believe that you are loved more than you can imagine? Do you believe that every care is accounted for? Do you believe that you are meant to be so much more than you can imagine? Do you believe that you hold the power to create a life worth living? Do you believe that the path to all of this flows through your heart? All of the answers to these questions are yes, and it is simply divine truth. These questions are there for you to explore and find the treasure that you truly are. Come join me on this journey, your spiritual path to freedom and love by awakening your inner child. Let's fly away to an unknown place where only love, beauty, and peace reside. Where blessings and miracles are created just for you. Where the music of the heavens vibrates within every part of your being. the sound of angels singing in harmony to let you know that you are loved unconditionally. Fly with me to this heavenly place of joy, where nothing feels less than grace and time is never accounted for. Where all motion is star matter and the light twinkles in resonance with the music of eternal love. Place your hand in mine, dear one, and let's fly to this blissful space together. Through your imagination and heart. Open your heart to the memory of what unconditional love feels like. You remember it lives inside you, in your own sacred heart, way before you forgot and closed it. When wonderment filled your mind and your being was loved just as you are. You never had a care in the world, and laughter was at the center of your heart. And you felt free to explore and express yourself joyously, feeling blessed by your aliveness and your imagination. This world is exquisite and still exists in your heart. Open and remember the dance of play and fun. When your soul never had a worry and the beautiful light bounced all around you to let you know that you are one with the light, never alone, and truly loved just for who you are. Can you see the playful light? Allow yourself to be immersed in this light of divine joy and expand with it. Breathe it in deeply and let it fill your whole being with the sensation of total bliss and joy. Breathe it in again and relax into the vibration and hear the giggles of your inner child playing in the light as it fills you and dances around you, kissing you back to your beautiful, pure heart space. Set your child free from all restraints, for they are sweet divine perfection, made of purity, and that has always been. You, dear one, are a miracle, created to love and express joy and hope. You are the reflection of infinite and eternal love, in harmony with all that is. You are the gift of divine hope, love, and peace here in this world. And you are meant to express your gifts through joy. This mirrors to the world that this is who you are and who they are. Believe this, for there is no other truth in the world. Believe that you carry all of this in your heart to share the miracle of who you are, so others can remember the love and blessings that they are. Through your heart, you are guided by the source of eternal love. You are never left on your own and is always there to remind you of your divinity and your gifts, and to allow love to generously flow through you from a never-ending well that spreads hope, peace, and joy to all. Fly with me to this place every day to remember what has been forgotten and to open once again. And believe, for this is where blessings are stored. Fly with me. Fly with me and believe. Never stop believing in yourself or in miracles. When you are ready, open your beautiful eyes and return to present, remembering and embracing the joyful, loving innocence of your inner child.
Thank you, Deb. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Karen, you want to share for a minute what you experienced with that one?
Well, that's definitely going to be a daily practice for me. And in addition with my song, you know, something that the angels explained to me that really, really was beneficial to me is that how we start our day is how our day is going to flow. And if we start our day with a song in our heart and a remembrance that we are pure love and pure joy, just having this human experience, you know, a lot of times we get so caught up in the human experience that we're just running from one thing to the next, trying to keep everybody happy and not even considering the fact that we are pure joy and that we don't have to do anything. There's a beautiful, beautiful message in the Course in Miracles, and I encourage everyone to read it every morning. I need do nothing. I need do nothing. When we feel like we have to get doing to do, we are not being at all. We are not being. When you feel like you have to do something and you are making a to-do list, stop and say, self, take over, please, because I am definitely not in myself right now because I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I feel like I'm not enough. So if you feel that at all in one way, shape, or form, no matter how little or how much you feel that, just realize that you have stepped away from your true self and you are the only one who can step back in. And don't blame anybody else for not having their relationship. Don't blame anybody else for your joy or your unhappiness, because every person on the planet has this wealth of joy inside of them. And I really believe that that meditation that Deb brought to us, and this beautiful intention that Terry started the whole show with, is a great way to start our day, every day, every day. And I think that, you know, when I love when Deepak Chopra says, if you think you're too busy to meditate, then you need to meditate 2 or 3 times a day. Because that's when we think we're too busy. That means that we have definitely stepped away from our true nature. Our true nature. Our true nature is pure love, pure joy. It's our true nature. And so when people see me and they see this bright light and this beautiful joy bubble coming at them, it can be a little intimidating at times. And a lot of people think that it's an act. A lot of people think, oh, she can't possibly be that happy. But the truth is, I really am. And this is not an act. This is, you know, being attached and connected to the wealth of joy and love that is inside of us.
Okay, thank you. So Deb, we are here in the holidays. Christmas is right here.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for you in particular, Christmas just hits you right here. Do you want to take a minute and just share your thoughts on what they say is the reason for the season?
Yeah, it's funny because throughout the years, I always loved the holidays and would get caught up in the busyness of it and gift giving. And since Jesus has woken me up, each year I get more centered in what the holiday is about. If I look at it from different standpoints, which I had a little download this morning that I'll just read to you. But it is about celebrating the light and the love that we are. And I'll read this to you because I think it was pretty profound that came through. Jesus's birth and life is a metaphor that helps us understand the truth of who we are. He came into this world to bring love and light. His birth, life, death, and transfiguration is the source of the divine spirit in us, the light that exists within. He shows us the path to freedom. He opens our eyes to our oneness with divine love, our true identity. We celebrate the holiday season of light through Hanukkah, Christmas, or the winter solstice. It is a celebration of pure joy as the rededication of a people, which would be the Jews, the birth of Jesus, and of finding within the winter solstice the eternal divine flame of love that lives within each of us. And this is what I believe that this holiday season is for, is to reconnecting to the light within us. And however you do that, whatever your belief systems are, it is all about celebrating the joy of who we are and the substance of what we are, that we've all been made in God's image, and that is nothing other than divine.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Terry, Ms. Angel, do we have anybody with us over in Facebook today? Oh, wait. You're muted. Now, well, you're still muted. There we go.
Okay, there I am. Yes, we have a wonderful audience in Facebook today, and everybody is loving this discussion and the meditation and the songs. Just beautiful. We have Geraldine Heatherdale, Summer Joy Raymer, Abulita Chadwick from Hemlock, Michigan. Ivana Fazo Morano is on, and Ruth Bradford. Abulita said she experienced purple when she did her gym at the very beginning, when you did that experience. And let's see, we had some comments. And she also said that she saw an angel and Santa Maria when she did the gym. I thought that was very cool and would love to hear more about your experience. Linda Lemieux is on and says hello, and everybody is just really expressing how much they loved it. And you got lots of hearts during the singing and during the meditation. Let me see who else commented. Bhumika Diva is on, and she says everyone is looking so beautiful. And it was her wish to celebrate the new year with us. She got her visa. We had all prayed for her for that. So glad she got that. Melody Simmons is on. And I know we had some comments about the meditation, that it was just really beautiful. I hope you all go on and read these, because everybody was really pouring a lot of love out for you today for what we had experienced here online. Linda says, thank you so much. Sue Seekoff was on. She says, thank you, Deb, for the peaceful meditation. And Abulita says, I'm always doing something. That sounds so good, to do nothing. Yeah, we really need that pause every so often. And great, just wonderful audience that has been consistently with us throughout the broadcast. And thank you all on Facebook for doing that. And I wanted to share some love for the holidays with all of you. And then thank you for your wishes for us as well.
Great. Thank you so much. And we are out of time, but I want to remind folks that next Sunday, the 29th, we are going to be celebrating Solstice of the Soul, the ceremony of light and love. And we welcome all of you to be with us, 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time. And the different Sunday Summit speakers from this holiday series are going to be on with us and celebrating with us. And it's really just going to be heart-centered, spirit-inspired, and divinely guided time together. We've been working on that. It's going to be great. So quickly, Deb, how can folks find you if they want to follow you?
Sure. My website is debbiengoldberg.com. I'm on Facebook as Deb Goldberg. And so you can meet me at any of those two places.
Great. And Karen, how can folks find you?
Well, the best way really is, most of my broadcasts are on Spirituality Gone Wild on Facebook. So you can follow me on Facebook. Just like the page on Spirituality Gone Wild. We'll be celebrating my birthday virtually tonight at 6 p.m. And everyone's welcome. I'll put the Zoom link so people can come in and wish me a happy birthday if they want to come in and pop into the Zoom. I'll post that later today. Also, you can find me on my website is globalkindnesstv.org. And on all social media, I'm known as Mindful Media Mom or Miss Kindness. So you can find me on all social media.
Thank you. And to all of our friends out there who are watching us, thank you so much for allowing us into your hearts. Thank you for the time that you spend with us. Thank you for your constant support, your beautiful comments that you share with us. We so appreciate each and every one of you. You're part of us. So thank you for being here with us. And Deb is going to close us off tonight. Deb received a song that she wants to share with us. So thank you, Deb.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. This is a lullaby. So this goes along with singing to your inner child. Rest in love, my darling. Rest in love in the light. Rest in love, my darling, for that's where the angels take flight. Rest in peace while you're sleeping. Rest in peace through the night. Rest in peace, my darling, for that's where the angels take flight. Rest in love in the garden. Rest in love in the hills. Rest in love, my darling, for that's where the angels take flight. Rest in love, my darling. Rest in love in the light. Rest in love, my darling, for that's where the angels take flight. Rest in love, rest in love, rest in love, my darling. Rest in love, for you are the angel of morning. Rest in love, for you are the angel of morning. God bless you.
Deb, that was beautiful.
Beautiful.
So beautiful. I love it.
All right, my friends, Merry Christmas to those of you that celebrate Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah to those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, and much love to all of you. So thank you.
And happy Kwanzaa to people who celebrate Happy Kwanzaa, and happy holidays to everyone who we might have forgotten that might have a holiday that we aren't familiar with.
Thank you. God
Bye,
bless.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.